Hi, this is Micah Vasu, and this is my ECON100A extra credit assignment. Today I'll be going over Ticketmaster and why it is a monopoly. Ticketmaster is a platform, a company that controls roughly 70% of primary ticket sales in the US. In 2010, it merged with Live Nation, the company's biggest concert promoter, to form a single entertainment giant. The combined company now controls not just ticketing, in the form of the ticketing platform, but also the artist touring deals and the venue themselves. Fans on a typical $50 ticket pay over $27 in service fees, which is more than half the face value of the ticket. In May of 2024, the DOJ, the Department of Justice, filed an antitrust lawsuit alleging that the company operates an illegal monopoly. That lawsuit is the example we will be going over today. A monopoly exists when a single firm dominates an entire market with no close substitutes. And also, it has significant barriers of entry that keeps rivals out. When a firm is a monopolist, it becomes a price maker. It do not have to accept market prices in a competitive world, and it can set its own price above marginal costs. This leads to an allocative inefficiency, where the firm produces less than is socially optimal and earns economic profit in the long run. Each of these barriers on the right side, exclusive venue contracts, artist lock-in, network effects, and predatory pricing, maps directly into what we cover for monopolies. Ticketmaster doesn't just have one barrier to entry, it has all of them combined together. So this graph shows how Ticketmaster decides what fee to charge. Following the profit maximization rule, a monopolist sets output where marginal revenue equals marginal cost. That gives us Q star, right at the bottom of the x-axis. But here's the key move. They don't charge MR equals MC price. They look straight out to the demand curve to figure out what consumers are willing to pay, which is P star. P star is well above AC star, average cost, of the quantity. That gap times Q star is the profit box, which is the yellow box. This is the economic profit Ticketmaster earns specifically because it faces a downward sloping demand curve and has no meaningful competition. The AC curve has its minimum exactly where the MC curve crosses it, and the MR curve hits the x-axis at exactly half the distance of the demand curve's x-intercept. These are the two key properties of a well-drawn monopoly graph. It's not that well drawn, but allegedly. So this slide is on Dewey loss. So this is what it costs society. In a competitive market, price will be driven down to marginal cost, and we will be at QC, the competitive equilibrium, with more tickets sold and lower prices. But Ticketmaster restricts output to QM and charges fans PM. The fans who still buy tickets capture some consumer surplus, which is the blue triangle above PM. Looking at the red triangle, we have fans who are willing to pay more than the marginal cost of the ticket, meaning that it would have been economically efficient to sell them a ticket, but they don't buy it because the price is above their willingness to pay. Since the ticket is there, but no one is willing to buy it, that is deadweight loss. The DOJ alleges that Ticketmaster uses exclusive venue contracts to physically lock competitors out, which is the barrier to entry. They allege that artists are economically coerced into using Ticketmaster because refusing means losing access to Live Nation venues, which is the artist lock-in. And the high service fees are only sustainable because consumers have no alternative, which is the definition of a price maker. The profit box isn't hypothetical, since Live Nation reported $22.7 billion in revenue in 2023. This structure that is present, the monopoly structure, lets Ticketmaster behave exactly like the textbook monopolist, setting output at MR equals MC and reading the price off the demand curve. The result is the welfare loss where fans pay above marginal cost and the triangle of value is destroyed. The DOJ's proposed remedy, breaking up Live Nation's vertical integration, would force Ticketmaster to compete, driving price toward marginal cost and output toward QC. To summarize, Ticketmaster is not just an annoying website where you have to waste your money to buy tickets. It is a real-world monopoly that behaves exactly as economic models predict it to be, setting price above marginal cost, earning sustained economic profit, and creating deadweight loss that harms fans and the broader live events market. The DOJ lawsuit is a direct application of antitrust economics, an attempt to use law to do what market competition cannot do on its own, moving us from the monopoly equilibrium back to the competitive equilibrium.